Today I want to talk about something a little bit private, but since you and me are friends, I think it's okay. Today I want to talk about why I am in Japan. It all started in 2004, or maybe even a little bit earlier. Back then I liked martial arts. In the 90s, maybe around 98, I had seen my first Jackie Chan movie on German television, and ever since then I was impressed by this kind of moves. After Jackie Chan came Bruce Lee, for me at least, not in reality, but for me. And at some point in 2004, my mom told me that one of her friends was practicing Aikido. He had a dojo in the town I was living, and if I wouldn't like to visit his training. Back then, I didn't know what Aikido is, but since I like martial arts, at least I like looking at martial arts, I decided to join. At first, I was a little bit hesitant. It was different than what I thought it would be like. But then after about 1 year, I had my first graduation, and then I started taking up pace. So starting at one training a week, quickly two trainings, then three. Then I started studying in Munich in 2006, where there was an abundance of dojos, so training places. And then I trained like 4 or 5 times a week, so almost every weekday. Then in 2008, my Aikido organization decided to make a trip to Japan to train with our Japanese teacher here. I decided to join because for some lucky reason I had gotten a little bit of money. And in 2009, I went to Japan for the first time. This gasku or seminar was 1 week, and it was in Nagano Prefecture in a town called Togarinozawa Onsen. There we had training, we had a good time. A little bit into the seminar, 2 Japanese college students joined us. And I thought they were 2 crazy girls. They actually had their ponytails on the top because since we were all foreigners, they wanted to teach us samurai spirit. And obviously, this is how you teach samurai spirits to foreigners, by having the ponytail on the top, just like samurai. So crazy girls. So I didn't actually talk to them too much because obviously I'm not crazy. I thought at least. And this was it. Then I went back to Tokyo after the gasku. We had a great time in Tokyo as well. Also did a little bit of training. And then back to Germany. Then in 2011 there was another trip to Japan planned, but unfortunately this time there was the great Tohoku earthquake and tsunami, which caused the seminar to be cancelled. So I didn't go this time. Then in 2013, my teacher came to Germany to teach there, and I went to the seminar, and so did the 2 crazy Japanese girls. For some coincidence, I went with another friend to pick them up at the airport. So then we went to this like secluded area in Germany to practice. One of the girls had to go back earlier, and the other girl stayed the whole week. And well, after the week, so back then I had a girlfriend and she had a boyfriend, and 2 days after the seminar had ended, I didn't have a girlfriend anymore. And pretty soon after that, she also didn't have a boyfriend. Then in November 2014, I went to visit her in Japan for the first time. We became a couple. In 2015, I visited her 3 more times, and the third time, which was in July, I stayed for 1 month, and then I took her with me to Germany. We lived in Germany for 1 year until 2016, July. And then again there was a seminar in Japan of our Japanese teacher, but this time I was the organizer. So I had to go, and for some reason she got pregnant. We couldn't go back, so we were in the window where we could fly to Japan, but after the seminar we couldn't come back to Germany. So we said, okay, let's move to Japan. By the time we also got married, by the way. Let's move to Japan. And also I proposed before she got pregnant. That's also important. So we moved to Japan, and we had the seminar, decided to stay for 1 year. But for some reason, I actually forgot why, we are still here. So initially I was a freelancer. I had my own company offering software development services for German clients. Then I moved to Japan and continued working for some of my clients remotely. However, since the time zones are quite different, so it's 7 or 8 hours depending on the daylight savings time, It didn't work out so well. So after some time, I started looking for jobs in Japan and found one which I liked in Tokyo. So that's why after 1.5 years in Nagano City, we moved to Tokyo, and or Tokyo area. Now we're in Yokohama, and that's where we are still to this day. Yeah, so that's the story of my Japanese journey until now. Speaking of Japanese journey, I actually started Japanese Journey, the webpage, back in the beginning of 2016 when I was still living in Germany. And I did it mostly to have some kind of accountability when learning Japanese. So I learned Japanese, I wrote down what I wanted to do in the next week, and then usually I didn't do that. But some people started to say, hey, you should. So this kind of helped me learning and improving my Japanese. Then I also did some articles like how to use an onsen, a Japanese hot spring, or also about Japanese toilets, which later became my first video on YouTube. And it was kind of semi-successful. So at some point I looked at different medias. How could I improve? How could I get more viewers to visit my webpage? And then at some point I tried doing YouTube, which was maybe, I think, September 2016 was when I first published a video, said toilet video to YouTube. The toilet video did not so well initially, but then I did some marketing. It was a lot of effort, but then I got like maybe 1,000 views or so, which I thought was great. The first 18 subscribers, as in 1-8, not 18. And I thought, okay, let's do this for half a year. You should have maybe 10,000 subscribers by then. Obviously, this was not right, so I did it for almost 3 years now, and I'm at 12,000 something subscribers. However, still, it was nice. I started doing videos every second week, then I started doing it every week, and then I didn't have the time anymore, I guess, or it felt too tiring. So I went back to a little less, or didn't keep my weekly schedule consistently. And then when I joined the new company here in Tokyo, the company's in Tokyo, I got much less time. And that's why last year I published only 6 videos. However, this year I'm a little bit more on track now. I already published 9 videos, even though it's just a half of the year. So hopefully by the end of this year we can see at least 20, maybe more or less, I don't know. Let's see. So for the future I would like to have some collaborations maybe with other YouTubers here in the area. I would like to show you more about Tokyo. So recently I've been doing just this, sitting in my room and talking to the camera or to you. And I would like to go out more again. Would like to show you Yokohama, what you can do here, not just the typical touristy things like the red brick warehouse or the famous areas like Chinatown, but also like the more off the beaten track things. I would like to show you things like Kamakura or Kawagoe or anything else that could be considered a day trip from Tokyo. And of course I also want to show you Tokyo, for example Roppongi, where I worked for 1.5 years, Asakusa, Akihabara, all the famous areas, and also the not so famous areas, and the areas that will be famous, things like Odaiba, which will be a main area for the Olympics next year, and so on. So for this I hopefully can work together with some other YouTubers which are more proficient in some of the areas, and then provide lots of great content to all of you for your benefit and enjoyment, and for the growth of this channel of course as well. That's it. That's enough for this video. This time I didn't have a script. I hope you could bear it anyways. Thank you for watching until now, and see you next time.